Hi guys, welcome. And who dat? The Buccaneers, that's who. NFC South Showdown. Week 6 between the displaced Tampa Bay Buccaneers and our beloved Bless You Boys in black and gold, the New Orleans Saints in the Caesars Superdome. And we soiled the bed. Final score 51-27. The most embarrassing thing that I've seen in a while. I mean, this is supposed to be the defense that's going to win us a championship. Yeah, it would be one thing if Kansas City would have done something like this to us. Oh, wait, they kind of did. Well, no, they didn't put up 51 points. You know, the Buccaneers have this way of winning in the Superdome. It's uncanny. I'm sure at the end of the year we're going to go to the Tampa and we're going to whip the Bucs by double digits, and everything's going to be in its right place. All right, this line score here is ridiculous. The defense allows 17 points to start the game. We allow 20 points to finish the game. And somewhere in the middle, halftime was when you really thought we might be putting it all together. The Saints scored 27 points in the second quarter to come from nowhere, down 17 nothing, to take the lead before halftime. So what kind of adjustments were made? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers came out. They decided to start blitzing. They weren't going to allow this mobile quarterback to beat them with these bootlegs all day long. And Tampa ends up with 5 sacks. And Rattler ends up getting rattled to throw 2 interceptions. And, I was expecting Rattler to do something, bring this team back in the end. Well, he did at the end of the first half. And the defense did their part after allowing 17 points to force some turnovers. And Tampa Bay came out with halftime adjustments that worked. And we came out with a team, and remind me if I'm correct. Dennis Allen said something about, well, you don't really have time to make adjustments at halftime. Everybody goes to the bathroom, and then you go back out on the field. No, 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 they went to the bathroom on the field. That's what they did, and they came out. It's as if, and I'm just being crazy. This is not the truth, but it seemed like they all got shot up with some sort of painkiller, and it affected the way they played. That's what it looked like. Maybe they all. I don't want to. I'm not speculating. I'm making a joke. Okay. Yeah. They came out very underprepared. They came out as if they forgot how to play football. They came out without any adjustments at all to counter what the defense was seeing. I mean, when push came to shove, and we always talk about the team starting fast. Well, the offense managed to get some stuff going in the second quarter, and by halftime, we were winning. I can't blame the offense. I can't blame a rookie quarterback, especially behind that offensive line. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to watch the all 22. I'm not going to see exactly everything that went wrong. I know he allowed 5 sacks. And I know that covering the Saints whenever they lose is it's a daunting task. It's frustrating, but I have the stats, so let's pull them up. Spencer Rattler's 22 of 40 for 243 yards. He had 1 touchdown. He had 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. Not bad for a rookie. That's what I'm going to say. Behind this offensive line, he did enough in the second quarter to make me think, yeah, there's some stuff we can work with here. God, you need a defense, though. And that's the problem in this game, the defense. I have no faults with the offense. Running the ball, we had 5 people take a crack at it, and we end up with 81 total rushing yards on 21 carries. Kamara, 13 carries, 40 yards, 3.1 yards a carry, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. Spencer Rattler scrambles 4 times for 27 yards. He fumbled once. Jamal Williams had 2 carries for 7 yards. And Jordan Mims had a carry for 5 yards. And Rashid had one. carry for 2 yards. So, you run the ball 21 times. It's not really working, but you tried it with five different people and, you average 3.9 a carry. So it's not awful. Spencer Rattler scrambles kind of help with that. But yeah, you're not really committed to the run when you throw the ball 45 times and you run the ball 21 times. How's the run going to set up this offense? How's this offensive scheme going to work when you can't run the ball? It's a mystery. Receiving, the two tight ends led in receiving yardage, and once again, the targets to receptions were spot on. Morrow targeted twice, two catches, 54 yards. Juwan Johnson targeted three times, three catches, 48 yards. Bub Means led the receivers with five catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. Bub Means was targeted eight times, five catches. You don't expect perfection from a rookie, especially two of them, but not bad. Olave had went down early, so Means saw a lot of action. Cedric Wilson was targeted three times. He had two catches for 28 yards. Alvin Kamara was targeted eight times. He had five catches for 24 yards. Mason Tipton targeted twice. He had one catch for 15 yards. Jordan Mims targeted four times. He caught two for 13 yards. Jordan Mims saw some action in this game. Rashid Shaheed had one catch for 11 yards. And the interception was one where, once again, he drifts in the route. He thinks everything's going to be thrown deep. He has no awareness or ability to fight back to the ball. And he's literally drifting back and watching the other guy intercept the ball. Once again, this is becoming a trend. It's like the third time it's happened to Rashid. He is obviously not a player that's going to be a physical force and make plays. Olave has proven that he can make a contested catch. He wasn't very good at it in college, and he got better and better and better at it in the pros. He's still not great, but at least he does. And Shaheed doesn't. Shaheed was targeted seven times, and he only made one catch. And last week, it was the same thing. He was targeted nine times, and he made four catches. Five were incomplete. Well, he had one catch today, six were incomplete. We desperately need a number two wide receiver and temporarily need a number one because Chris Olave had one catch for 5 yards on one target and then he left the game and never came back. So the bottom two receivers on this receiving list are your number one and number two receiver, and everybody else, it felt like a preseason game for the offense. And the offensive line up front, at least everybody stayed healthy. I guess I can say that. But Saldivari started at left guard. You had McGovern at center, a guy who's been here for about 9 days. And at right guard, once again, tackle Landon Young, preferably left tackle Landon Young at right guard. And you don't have much depth after that. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get Cesar Ruiz back anytime soon. I guess Lucas Patrick was a game time decision. He didn't practice at all this week, but we thought he might be able to go for the game. Maybe Patrick will be back next week. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that McCoy miraculously recovers from his injury and we get him back as soon as possible because once he left, the aspirations and hopes and dreams of this team left. But offensively, I will say Spencer Rattler showed me some stuff. He's a rookie. I expect mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and I don't know if Derek Carr could have scored enough points to beat 51. And this, I believe, is the second most points the Saints have ever allowed, the lopsided loss under Dennis Allen, and the worst loss we've had in decades. And, one of the top three worst defensive outputs ever in the history of this franchise. We allowed 594 total yards. That is video game stuff right there. We got 303. So they beat us by 294, which is, almost 303. Wow. So the defense is the reason we lost this game. And I'll tell you the defensive stats real quick, as awful as they are. Our top five leading tacklers in this game, five, were DBs. And that tells you one thing. You are getting your ass kicked. Jordan Howden, Paulson Adebo. Howden had 11 total tackles. Adebo had 10 total tackles, two passes defense, and an interception. Adebo, I don't believe was flagged. Maybe he was. I kind of lost interest in the game. I kind of was wandering around doing other things, Hard to pay attention when that third quarter ended the way it did. Fourth quarter, right after fourth quarter starts, we go down 10 with 7 minutes to go. They have the ball third and 16, and we allow it. We're down by 10 with 7 minutes to go. We need two possessions to win this game. They're at third and 16, and we allow it with a simple, it was either a screen or just a quick pass in the flat to the running back, wide open. I mean, their backup running back, Tucker, had 180 total yards. Like, who is this? Yeah, well, he might be signing a big contract after this game. Marshawn Lattimore, 10 total tackles. That's three DBs. Jonathan Abrams, seven total tackles. He had a pass defense. He also had an interception. And Alontae Taylor, six total tackles, one tackle for a loss, one pass defense. And for all of those tackles that these players made, they probably missed just as many. And the rest of the team included. These guys did not tackle all day. It was embarrassing. They were getting stiff armed. They were getting juked on. They were whiffing. They were trying to hit people instead of tackle them. Demario Davis, six total tackles. JT Gray, five total tackles. He had to play a lot of safety. I guess Matthew didn't play, and Gray probably had some special team stuff going on too. Willie Gay Jr., four total tackles. He had a sack. He had two passes defense. It was Gay's best game, and he had a few missed tackles too. Kool-Aid McKinstry had three tackles and a pass defense that should have been an interception, and oh no, it wasn't. Nathan Shepard, the only defensive lineman that I'm going to mention here, besides Cam Jordan getting an interception. Shepard had three total tackles, including one for a loss. And yeah, I think Chase Young had a tackle for a loss. And other than that, these guys weren't really around. We end up with one sack for the game of Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Willie Gay. That's it. Cedric Wilson had three total tackles, special teams tackles. Good job, Wilson. And Cam Jordan with the pass defense, the one tackle, and the interception. So Shaheed had a 54-yard punt return for a touchdown. That helps. We had three turnovers. That helps. But the well ran dry in the second half for this defense, and especially in that fourth quarter. My goodness. I've never seen anything like scoring 27 points in a quarter. So what the Saints did offensively, the defense helped that to happen. It was bam, 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 and we were winning the game all of a sudden. It was a great thing. And we take a 20-17 lead, and then Tampa Bay goes down the field and takes the lead back from us, 24-20, and then we go down the field and score a touchdown. And we're winning at halftime 27-24. It felt like this offense is on track. The defense got it together. We're just going to have to go toe to toe, blow to blow. And it didn't happen. Offensively, we didn't do anything in the second half. And defensively, if you're going to start a game and allow 17 points and finish a game and allow 20 points, yeah, you're not going to win anything in this league. You're not going to win anything in lesser leagues. They got 31 first downs. We got 19. They were 6 of 10 on third downs. We were 4 of 13. Wow, pretty bad. Tampa had 314 passing yards. That's not as nearly as embarrassing as the Saints allowing 277 rushing yards. You cut that in half, then it's an embarrassing game on the ground for your defense. I don't know if I've ever seen a team get 277 rushing yards before. I mean, look, you can go to my past draft videos, and I told you guys that the kid from Oregon that Tampa got was going to be a good player, but I didn't think he was going to be that good. I mean, he ends up getting like 84 yards on whatever 14 carries, and then you know this Tucker guy, can't remember that guy's name. Bucky Irving. Yeah. I said he'd be great, good to draft in the fourth round, but yeah. Yeah, he ends up with the 80 something yards. And then Tucker, my God, 136 on the ground and 56 in the air. So yeah, 180 yards. Absolutely insane. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns. We picked him off 3 times, but we end up with the 3-3 tie on the turnovers, so zero. Penalties, they had way more than us. They had 12 for 86 yards. That cost you a score right there, like Bobby said. It should have been 58 to 27. We had 7 penalties for 70 yards. They beat us in time of possession 34 to 26, but that's way better than 40 to 20 like last week. But red zone was the most disappointing thing. They got in the red zone 5 times and scored 4 touchdowns. That is not a good look for our defense. Not only are we allowing them to move the ball between the 20s, now we're not stopping at least this team in the red zone. We were 2 of 4 in the red zone, and that's not terrible. And of course, Goodwin, 11 catches, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's the Saints killer. He's got Pro Bowl Hall of Fame stats against the Saints. That's the way it goes with Godwin. So overall, I'm not calling for Dennis Allen's head just yet, but what I've seen from the defense in the last couple of games, it reminds me of little lapses we had last year and the year before. We can't seem to stop the run. We can't seem to draft players that can stop the run or acquire players that can draft the run or stop the run or even rush the passer. It's embarrassing. And on top of that, we can't tackle. I heard Allen say he was going to focus more on tackling for the team. Well, you got 4 days till the next game, so good luck with that approach this week. And shouldn't tackling be something you practice anyway? I mean, with all of the injuries that the Saints have, yeah, I would probably be a little tentative when I would go to tackle somebody. And then on the dome, on that turf, maybe that's why we've been losing. Y'all remember before the first playoff victory the Saints ever had, we had this voodoo queen go in the dome and she had a snake on her and she did a little chant and apparently got the gritty gritty out of the dome and we won the playoff game. First time we ever won a playoff game. And then the next time we were in the dome, first home game of the next year, this same woman was in there with the snake and she was doing the thing again. And I thought, no, you got rid of the curse. What are you doing? You're going to bring it back. And yeah, we're not very good in the dome right now. So I think that woman should go back and do her little thing again. And then don't go back after that. And let's see if we can start winning. That might help. Because right now it feels like the team just doesn't like playing on turf. We weren't very good outdoors either. We've lost 4 games in a row. Now we're 2-4. And looking up, well, we're 2-4, but we're not in last place. Carolina's 1-5. So, at least we're 1 game better than Carolina after a good quarter of the season or a third of the season. Huh. And looking up, we're looking at Tampa Bay, who's 4-2, and Atlanta, who's 4-2, and they don't have a 2 game lead on us. They have a 2.5 game lead on us because they both whipped our ass. And we got a long way to go, and we don't have very good players and very many players to get there. And you got to seriously start to question the coaching. I'm not saying get rid of Dennis Allen just yet, but it's looking that way. I mean, we've been calling for the guy's head anyway. And I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. This is his team 100% right now. This offense is his responsibility. He stays out of it. Kubiak, these reserved interviews that he gives, which may show, a quiet strength, starting to look to me like he's not the brightest bulb. Okay, so hey, I'm not gonna say the guy. I'm sure he's brilliant, but right now he doesn't seem like he knows how to figure anything out. I mean, they started blitzing you. You didn't have an answer for the blitz. You don't think a team's gonna blitz? Matter of fact, with the Saints' offensive line in shambles in the middle, not to mention a rookie on one end and Trevor Penning on the other, an entire offensive line that's in shambles. None of the teams that are beating us are actually doing the things that you would think they would be doing. Stunts and blitzes up the middle. No, they're just beating us man to man right up front, just dominating the guy across from them and getting there, you know. But if a team, is having an issue, we had a good game plan. Spencer Rattler's mobile. That's why he was going to win the game for us. And we start running around doing these things, and the Bucs couldn't catch us. And then they decided, no, let's start blitzing, and they did it, and we couldn't stop it. And this is something that Kubiak is showing me every week right now. He didn't have to change anything in the first two games, but Sean Payton, I had this issue with Sean Payton. Yeah, you might be a brilliant play designer and a brilliant schemer of offenses, and on paper everything looks good. But are you preparing your team enough to keep them on the field because everyone's injured all the time? And if they punch you in the face, are you going to do something about it? Can you make adjustments? No, you couldn't. Atlanta gave you the blueprint of how to beat Philadelphia the very week before. And when Philadelphia was kicking your butt with 5 and 6 man fronts, you did not try to spread the ball out one time. And even a novice knows to do that. And if you don't have a way to stop the blitz, then forget about it because that's what I would be doing. I would be sending somebody up the middle all the time, even against Derek Carr because he's very weak against pressure. And of course, right now with a rookie, and if it was Hayner, it would be whatever, a 1 year pro, whatever, same thing. So I don't have any faith in the Saints beating Denver next week. Why are we going to induct Drew Brees into the Saints Hall of Fame on the night that Sean Payton's coming? You know why? Because it's on Thursday night and Jeff Bezos does whatever the hell he wants. So you want the big spectacle on Thursday night. It's the only game in town. Of course, we're going to highlight Drew Brees. And we're going to highlight the fact that Sean Payton's coming back into town to face his old team. Thanks a lot, Goodell. You guys are freaking brilliant. Just brilliant. I love how this displaced Tampa Bay Buccaneer team was able to have a week and a half to prepare for us. And we just played Monday night. So thanks for that. And now we got to turn right around and play on Thursday night with this spectacle, rubbing Drew Brees in the face of whoever's playing quarterback currently for the team. Because I want to celebrate Drew Brees. But can't we do it at the end of the season after the freaking game is over? Something like that. Do we have to have a spectacle about it? Yeah, whatever. I don't watch games live. I watch them after so I can fast forward through the commercials. Yeah. And I'm going to appreciate Drew Brees. And once Sean Payton retires, he can carry his happy ass back in here and we can all celebrate what he did for this team too. But for right now, he's the enemy. And I think celebrating the history of Drew Brees while the coach that coached Drew Brees is across yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Smells like Goodell crap to me. All right, that's all I can say. Subscribe to Rosenfield 10 for more stuff about the Saints. I love talking about this team. I went through all the hell of getting all this together, and what are you going to do? I'm a Saints fan. I shoot me in the head, man. Give me a bag. We were literally looking for bags to put on our heads during the game today. Literally. They were plastic bags. So maybe we could have tied them off and maybe some of you watching this video would have appreciated that. But I'm a Saints fan. I don't bleed black and gold anymore, but my blood is black and gold. I just don't bleed it out anymore. I'm not gonna cry over this. I'm gonna tell you how it is. The defense is old. It's unimaginative. No one's adjusting on the fly. You can't get a consistent 4 quarters from either side of the ball. It doesn't matter if it's Derek Carr or a rookie. And yeah, I don't want to tear the whole thing down right now, but I don't expect us to win very many games this year. So subscribe to Rose and Bill 10. I'm going to be doing a mock draft on my next video, and it may be a way too early mock draft, but yeah, I, I like thinking of better days to come, and the idea of fixing this football team right now sounds fun to me. So subscribe and watch for that video and like this one. And until the next one, I'll talk to you later. Who dat?